Welcome back to my official YouTube channel. This is Gaurav Ayaan and Gaurav Ayaan YouTube channel में आप सभी लोग का स्वागत है। तो आप लोग सभी लोगों ने तो मैच देख ही लिया होगा। सबसे पहले बहुत बहुत कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन दीपक चहर को, क्योंकि उन्होंने आज ये मैच कहते हैं ना एकदम नामुमकिन सा मैच वो जिता दिया अपने मतलब कंट्री के लिए। और कोई किसी को भी उम्मीद नहीं था जब सूर्य कुमार यादव और फिर कुणाल पांड्या आउट हुए थे कि ऐसा लगा था कि ये मैच कितनी जल्दी खत्म हो जाएगा, और या फिर ये लोग उम्मीद कर रहे थे कि कितना स्कोर कम होगा। ठीक है, लोग यही उम्मीद कर रहे थे कि कितना रन से कम इंडिया हारेगी। तो यही उम्मीद करते करते फिर दीपक चहर ने क्या ब्लाइंडर इनिंग खेली और फिर वहां से इंडिया मैच जीत गई। जब 275 रन चेस करना था तो जैसे हमारी मिडिल ऑर्डर लड़खड़ाई तो वहां पर फिर एक सूर्य कुमार यादव और एक दीपक चहर ने ही कुछ इनिंग खेली, तब जाके हम यहाँ पे मैच जीते। और ऑब्वियसली कुणाल पांड्या की कुछ कैमियो इनिंग थी, कुछ कैमियो इनिंग तो नहीं पर उन्होंने ठीक ठाक अच्छी इनिंग खेली थी, तो उसे पे हम लोग थोड़ा सा डिस्कस करेंगे। एंड ऑब्वियसली हमारा डिस्कशन थोड़ा सा इंडिया का प्रैक्टिस गेम जो हुआ है उस पे भी डिस्कशन जरूर रहेगा। तो टॉपिक स्टार्ट करने से पहले आई हैव बीन जॉइंड बाय my Australian mate, Lucas. Lucas, welcome back to my show.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. What an intense game that was between Sri Lanka and India.
Oh, you have also watched that game a little bit. Was you expecting that India gonna win? Just tell me. Just be honest.
Well, they were 160 for 6. You'd think absolutely no chance whatsoever. Dead, buried, gone. Probably get bowled out before 200, and then unbelievable by Chahar. Incredible hitting, incredible, and Kumar, out of all people, as well, Kumar holding on with him at the end, unbelievable.
So obviously, and one more thing, as you said it earlier, that you were thinking that India going to be bowled out before 200. Okay, do you think if any other team like Australia would be playing, or England would be playing, or New Zealand would have been playing in this situation, they would given a single chance to this Indian team? They would have grabbed this opportunity and then they both hands, and they would have finished this match so much early. I think Sri Lanka has lost the big trick, and they have lost the, what do you call it, the big match. They have lost a big match. This was their game to lose, and they have made sure they have lost this match. Go ahead, Luca.
And that's the problem with the big four. You know, the difference between the big four and Sri Lanka. You know, the big four,
Yes.
like Australia, with England, or even with India. Let's say if Sri Lanka was in that position and India, had to bowl them out. You know, they would have finished that game off. And with Sri Lanka, that's Sri Lanka's problem with all these years. They haven't got a finisher in their bowling lineup. You know, we saw Malinga for a lot of years. You know, be that finisher. They don't have that no more, and that's the reason why the Sri Lankan ODI cricket has gone down the stocks. You know, they just haven't got a bowler to do that. They haven't got a killer instinct. And that's a big problem for Sri Lanka. As you saw today, you know, it's a problem they need to fix.
Obviously, they have a bowler like Dusmantha Chamira, who is a pretty much quick, but he was expensive today also, because he has conceded 65 runs in 10 overs and hasn't picked up any wicket also. So that was the main reason, because he's like spearhead in this bowling lineup, considering the fast bowling lineup, because we know what Hasranga can do. He has the variety. He's the he's the like break bowler. He can take wicket in the middle of over, but he can't bowl in the death over. Especially he bowled pretty much okay before in the 48 over. He India went on to play their overs and then attack the other bowlers. So apart from Hasranga, nobody has went ahead with taking responsibility and finish it off for their team.
Well, none for 65, by Chamir. Is it Chamir?
Yeah, Dushmanta Chamira.
Cha-
Dushmanta Chamira.
well, he's got to stop watching Mitchell Stark, because that's what something Mitchell Stark would do recently. So, like you said, they do have him, but he's no Malinga. Malinga was that killer bowler. He was that bowler that you could always go to in late overs, especially bowling last in Sri Lanka's innings. Um, Big Yorkers, even though when he lost his pace, he still produced those big
Obviously.
Yorkers. And a lot of slower balls. The Sri Lankan bowlers do not have that variety. It's either very quick or very slow. During these Sri Lankan bowlers, how often do you see these Sri Lankan bowlers bowl slower balls? How often do you see them bowl wider balls, or Yorker wider balls as Malinga also did in his career? You just don't see that. They're two dimensional, and this is why you can never pick Sri Lanka in these tournaments, because they just don't have the equipment to deliver.
And you want to say something about Hasranga? Because he has
Yeah.
been bowling really well. I have been very impressed. I would look. I don't want to talk about the leagues and all this, but I would be very surprised if Hasranga won't be picked for any IPL team, because he is very good. He bowls the leg break. He has a very good googly also. And once again, in this crunch situation game, he has picked 3 wickets by
Mm.
just giving 37 runs. Have you seen him before?
I haven't seen him before, but what Sri Lanka do pretty good is produce spinners.
Yeah.
With all the way, all back when they started. A lot of years ago with Murali, then they had Haranga,
Yeah.
Harath. And now they've got who's that test player that plays in the test team?
Imbudunia.
Yep. So they have him. He's starting to be a good player, and then they're starting to do it in the white ball
Amar
cricket.
is saying that he bats well also.
Yeah, he can. Of course, he can bat also. But that's one thing you can say positively about Sri Lanka, is that they do produce
Yeah.
spinners.
Yeah,
Probably
obviously.
better than most Asian countries like Pakistan.
I do agree.
They do struggle with spinners. Bangladesh do struggle with spinners. So Sri Lanka.
Bangladesh produces most of the time the left arm spinner,
Yeah,
like they have
yeah,
Saqib Al Hasan, and
yeah,
earlier they had Abdul Razak, Mohammad Rafiq. So
yeah,
most of the time they had a left arm spinner,
yeah. Not as effective as Sri Lankan
and now
bowlers
they
though.
have Mehdi Hassan. Right, go
Yep,
ahead.
yep. But Sri Lanka, when you think of Sri Lanka, what do they produce best at spin bowling?
Obviously.
So that they do that well than some other nations. We see South Africa, we see New Zealand. They don't produce many spin bowlers, or even England. So that's something Sri Lanka does have over the field, but unfortunately they struggle with pace bowlers, which is a real problem for them. And this is exactly why you cannot pick them in these tournaments. They're not. You can't rely on them. Their spinners cannot do all the
They are
work.
on the crunch situation, right?
You do need a fast bowler to help you out, and that's why when Sri Lanka, I think they won the T20 World Cup.
Yeah, I think in 2013,
Yeah,
12 or 13, I can't remember properly, but they beaten
yeah,
India and they
yeah,
went on to won the T20 World Cup.
because they had a
But they
perfect
had a
mix of
very good
Maling.
team on
Yeah,
that year.
well, they had Malinga, they had their spinners, so they had a lot of variety, but they don't have that now. They're too predictable. So they need to work on that and get back to that picture. I know players like Malingas don't grow on trees. They're once in a generation players,
Obviously,
but they still
obviously.
need to find a bowler that can bowl those Yorkers and can bowl those wide length Yorkers as well, and get them into the games. This
The
was
main
such a poor
problem,
loss.
Lucas, yeah, Lucas, the main problem is that consistency. They had the talent.
Yeah,
You can see some of the
yeah,
players.
yeah,
They can play for a longer period of time, especially Dushmanta Chamira and one more bowler who isn't playing right now. The Hiru Kumar, something name like this. They had the talent. they can perform, but the main problem is the consistency, or maybe they are lacking with the mindset. So that's why they are not performing well. Yeah, he's saying Lehru Kumar. Yeah, Amar, thank you very much. You are saying that I've just forgotten his name. So these are the bowlers who can perform well, and they had the what do you call it, the great pace also. And
Yeah.
Lakmal, also Lakmal is injured right now. I think he's not playing, and obviously he most of the time he plays in test matches also.
Test matches. Yeah.
He doesn't play in white ball and T20 cricket, so I don't know about Lakmal. But look, the main problem is consistency, and you need to perform when it really matters. And as I said it earlier, it's Sri Lanka game. It was a Sri Lanka game to lose, and they have managed to lose this game.
Well, Lakmal is actually can be an X factor because he bowls different lines. You know, he's a very good test player. You know, you look at his average and you think, oh, it's only 30, but he's better than that. For the last couple of years, he's really has improved as a bowler. Now, for some reason, even when he is fully fit, he doesn't play ODI as much as Test match cricket. But it helps to have that a different bowler in your ranks. You know, you look at Australia's bowling unit. Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood. They're three different bowlers. You know, you look at England. You know, Broad, Wood. You know, they're different bowlers. You know, Archer's a different bowler.
Especially New Zealand. Don't forget about New Zealand. Wagner, they have Broad, they have Saudi, and they have Jamison. They all are different bowlers.
That's the real problem. You know, Southie swing bowler bowl. You know. Fast bowler, Wagner, short pitch bowling, even Jamison, you know, very tall bowler but can bowl good line and length. You know, Sri Lanka don't have that variety. They're two dimensional. It's either spin or it's pace. There's nothing in between.
And just share some of your thoughts of Deepak Chahar. Yes, magnificent man. Just imagine batting at what do you call it, number 7, number 8, whatever the number is. I am not able to remember quite properly because once the Kunal Pandya got out, I switched off my TV, man. I didn't watch it properly, and suddenly Deepak Chahar come out to bat and smash 69 of 82 balls.
So you still can't wrap around it because he's almost a tail ender because he's a bowl type player. You know, he's picked for bowling. He's not picked for batting. He's picked for bowling. And like you said, he made it look very, very easy. He made that look very easy. That was not easy. That's not easy coming out at that position against bowlers and that pressure. It's probably. You know, speaking of Sri Lanka, you know, they did the same thing against Australia, I think about 8-9 years ago with Malinga, who was batting. They chased down a big score and they looked absolute dead and buried. And Malinga, out of all people, managed to steer them home. This is a bit like this. This was actually more impressive because he scored 69. He made it look so easy. And I think he's only played 4 matches. He's only played 4 matches, hasn't he? 4 or 5 matches.
This was his fifth ODI.
So it's not like he's played 100 matches. You know, he's still a new guy. He's still very, very new. And to do this,
but he can bat a bit because you don't watch T20 cricket. We know we have a CSK fan, and the Amar is also in the comment box. He's also a CSK fan, and we all know him that being in the CSK team, he's a bowler who can bat in the lower order also. So he's very good at batting also, but we didn't know about it that he is so good that he can contribute like this in this tense situation, a match like this, and made us very vital 69 runs for Team India.
Well, it's also good to be lucky and also good to get help. You know, who would have thought Kumar would have been at the other end supporting him as well?
Obviously,
you know. Kumar's not a batsman.
This is not the first time Bhuvneshwar Kumar is helping out the other batsmen because he has batted well in the England condition. I remember one match in Sri Lanka also where MS Dhoni was batting on the other side, and MS Dhoni went on to score 40 plus something, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar went on to score 50 plus, and made sure that India don't lose that match against Sri Lanka, because on that day India was in spot of bother also, and MS Dhoni and Bhuvneshwar Kumar made sure that India don't lose that match also. So this is not the first time for Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Go ahead, Lucas.
It, when you think it's just unbelievable how it happened. You know, of course these things happen. But
Obviously.
the problem is they were so far back. They were six down. They still needed around 80 or 90 when they were six down.
Yeah.
They were all out of main batsmen. Pena was probably the last batsman left that could have done damage.
Kunal Pandya, yes.
And
Kunal Pandya.
when he went for 34, you're thinking that's it, game's over.
Yeah, I have switched off my TV, man. I have switched off my TV.
and you're thinking, nah, that's it, the game's over. Like I said earlier, I thought that they'd probably get bowled out for less than 200. That's how far back they were. Now, obviously, you know more about this team because they play IPL and T20s and all that. But a general fan watching this, you'd think there's no chance that these batsmen are going to get there.
Obviously.
And it, 160 for six, 160 for six. So they still needed over 100 runs, and they got there. Unbelievable! It was just unbelievable. It's probably one of the better chases you'll see this year, if not this year, probably ever. So, for the situation they were in, and to get themselves back into that game and win this game. In the end, they did it pretty easily. It wasn't like it was down to the last ball. Albeit last over, but they did it very easily. They could have got 280. They could have chased down 280 in this game. So that's how incredible it was.
And as you said earlier, that we always watch T20 cricket, and we are aware about that how Deepak Chahar is also a batsman. But let me tell you that we being a CSK fan, he never got an opportunity to bat, that he can show some of his batting skills. But we know, because of we are Indian, so we know, we also follow some of the domestic cricket also. So we know that he can bat also. But in T20 cricket, for CSK team, he hasn't batted more, and he never got that opportunity to show his talent with the bat. But with the ball in hand, he swings both the ways, and he picks wicket in T20 cricket also, and he swings the white ball also. So considering his batting performance, we also didn't watched him performing in the T20 leagues at all. But as I said it earlier, he can bat a bit.
Well, absolutely. He hit the most boundaries in that game. He hit 7 boundaries and won 6. So it wasn't like he was just tiptoeing around pushing for singles and twos and threes. He was hitting boundaries, and sixes. So it was just unbelievable performance, and he did win man of the match, right? Surely.
Obviously, there would be no chance. And forget about the man of the match. What are your thoughts on Sri Lanka? What they did wrong? Was it the captaincy's fault? What are they have the limited capabilities? They have the limited resources. What Sri Lanka did wrong on this match?
Well, this is the same old. This is basically the same old Sri Lanka, same old. This is why you ever since the T20 World Cup win, which I knew about that one. Trust me, I know about that one.
Yeah.
So ever since then, they've been very poor in ODI cricket. They've more concerned on Test match cricket, which is very weird because for a lot of years, it was either T20 or bust. And ever since they won that World Cup, they've been nowhere near as good with the white ball as you think they would be.
Obviously.
Considering the players, their system is made for white ball cricket. and for some reason, since that World Cup win, it's almost like, we've won the World Cup. What do you want us to do? You just can't win one World Cup. You got to push on. You got to push on for the next tournament. You got to push on for the next tournament. I may not like 50 overs, but as an Australian, I don't want my Australian team to go to a 50 over World Cup and just win it and say, that's it. We're just going to put the cue in the rack. We're not going to focus on winning anymore. And I think that's Sri Lanka's problem. They won their World Cup.
The main problem also happened after that. Most of the players went on to retire from international cricket, like Kumar Sangakkara, Mahela Javardhan, Dil Shan. A lot of players retired after that. So that rebuilding phase isn't over yet. So I don't know how many years they want of so-called rebuilding phase, because they are still having facing the problem with their boards, with their money, with the contract issue, and don't know. And basically know this earlier that 3 players got banned for 1 year just because of breaking some biosecure bubbles and all this. So a lot of things happening in Sri Lanka cricket, and especially their former players also not helping their boards also, because I think the 1996 World Cup winning captain Arjuna Ranatunga had just said that it is a disrespect of a Sri Lankan team that Sri Lankan India B team is arriving to play Sri Lanka. Look what happened, man. Even India B team is beating the strong side.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. That it's not like they haven't produced cricketers. You mentioned those players that got banned, like Mendes. He's been banned for a year. Dick Weller. So Lakmal. So they have produced. No. What I'm saying is that they have produced good players over the years. With Lakmal, with Mendes, with Dick Weller. So and with the young spinner Emi Boyala.
There's something like name. I don't know.
No disrespect to the name. So it's not like they haven't been producing cricketers. They have. But they just have not been performing. Maybe that's a coach thing. In the field, they're not as good as other nations in the field. Their fielding can be okay. Well, we call Labuschagne Labu, so we'll just call him Mbu. So in the fielding department, they're not as they are terrible at times in the field. So maybe they're not coached right. I don't know too much about their coach, but they have produced a lot of good cricketers over the last 3 to 4 years. But for some reason, they did not perform in these World Cups, did not perform in these tournaments, and they did not perform in the Asian Cup as well.
Obviously, and what done is done now. What other things you are looking ahead for the Sri Lanka? Is there any chance that they will be coming back, because they have lost the series now? There is a 3 ODI and the 2 matches gone, and they have lost the series. And as I said it earlier, I would still say the same. This was the Sri Lanka game to lose, and they have managed to lose this match. I don't know what to say, man, because you need a proper. If any other team would have been in this situation, they would have managed to knock out this Indian team.
Well, I'm sure Daniel Alexander is hiding away. I'm sure.
I was about to mention. Where is our mate Daniel Alexander? Look. Once I switched the TV after Kunal Pandya got out, I thought Daniel Alexander will celebrate like there is no tomorrow. He will celebrate the whole night today, and he will keep reminding from every year that this day India went on to lose this match from Sri Lanka. Go ahead, Lucas.
Well, I hope he didn't do a Rohit Sharma. Remember when he said he'll make 0, then he went on to make 200. So I hope he has not said anything when Panda got out. So I hope he stayed off that Twitter then, because this is another embarrassment if he has said something. And all the Rohit Sharma memes will come back. And it could be he'll probably go back to his cave, start crying. as he always does when India win, Sri Lanka lose.
Yeah.
But
Let's move from India.
as far as game three, as far as game three goes, like you said, the series is over. India won this series. I can't see Sri Lanka winning game three after this. I don't even know where they go. Do they just probably they? Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move from India's practice match now. Okay, we have discussed enough, and let's move on from the practice game. You have watched every ball of the practice match because I was watching the white ball format. So you need to give you need to give every information to our viewers what you have watched. Why Ajinkya Rahane and Virat Kohli wasn't playing in this match, and what happened in the entire match. Go ahead, Lucas.
So we'll get to the or injuries per se, or why they got rested. So the BCCI came out and said that Rahane had a tight hamstring issue, but will be okay to play against England, the real England team. And Kohli, the team doctor, I don't know who the team doctor is, said to Kohli, it's best that you rest because he was suffering from back tightness, some kind of back issue, back tightness or spasms. And that's a serious thing. Michael Clark suffered from back tightness for many years in his career, and it hampered him. So we just hope it's just tightness, nothing more. To the actual game itself, this could have been very embarrassing for India. They started really poorly. Lyndon James, which is a bowler, English bowler for English County 11, who plays for Nottinghamshire, took 2 quick wickets. Rohit Sharma went pretty cheaply. Agarwal went next. Agarwal actually did well against India. Sent 2 of their bowlers to the Notts County team to fill up. They sent Washington, and they sent in who's the other guy? Khan. I think it was Khan.
Avish Khan.
Avish. I don't know what Avish Khan was doing. I don't know if he was trying to boost up India's batsmen or what, if he was watching too much of Mitchell Starc. But goodness me, 2 overs for 16 runs. Goodness me, I mean, damn.
I think they were trying to give him some practice, but he looked completely off today.
He was absolute. He made Mitchell Starc look good. I'll try not to bash Mitchell Starc anymore. I'll try not to bash Mitchell Starc. Yeah, because I don't want to. Lyndon James came on. Agarwal got clean bowled. You remember that Ishant Sharma delivery to Aaron Finch a couple of years ago where he played the on drive, and he that was exactly a carbon copy of that. Agarwal really struggled after punishing Khan short and wide deliveries. Agarwal really struggled. Pujara got stumped. One of the most weird dismissals you'll ever see from Pujara. He doesn't really get stumped.
I've seen that. He was down the track and he got stumped.
I can't explain that because the ball was actually wide anyway. He could have just let that go. Yeah. So I can't explain that. Vihari really struggled as well. And India, they were 4 for 107. They were in world of trouble. They could have got bowled out for less than 200, just like the IDI game. But the player of the day was no doubt KL Rahul. Unbelievable. And supporting cast from Jadeja. KL was unbelievable. Played the spinners very well. Came out with a cap. The nerve of him coming out with a cap on. That's just an attitude. I don't care who you are. I'm going to dominate today. He came out, took on the spinners, played the short ball very well.
But let me tell you, once KL Rahul bats now, he looks batting so much easy, so easy in the eyes, so easy on the eyes.
From ball 1, I don't remember him ever getting in trouble. I don't remember ever him getting 5 balls in a row in trouble, 5 minutes really struggling. From ball 1, he was absolutely in cruise control. Made his 100 late in the session. Fantastic 100, then retired. So they didn't actually get him out. He retired. And then at the other end, Jadeja, who was actually one of the form batsmen in the New Zealand World Test final, when he sadly threw his wicket away very cheaply. He was absolutely fantastic as well. Again, he didn't look troubled when he came out to the pitch. Unfortunately, he did not get his 100. He got out. and then the tail below that didn't really do much. So India will probably come out bowling in the first 2 overs of the day tomorrow. And this is a big chance for two guys in particular I'm looking out for. That's Jasprit Bumrah and Axel Patel. We know Axel Patel on ranked turners is just an absolute machine. He averages 10 in Test match cricket with a ball. So I'm looking to see what he does in English conditions. But Jasprit Bumrah is a player to watch for me. He badly needs to find wickets.
Okay, let's move on. We have some update about West Indies and Australia match. We'll discuss 2 minutes about that, and we'll wrap the show. Australia will bat first. Okay, let me announce the team for you. I think Alex Carey is captain for today's game, and Ben McDermott is playing. Josh Philippe, Mitchell Mars, Moses Henriquez, Alex Carey, Aston Turner, Matthew Wade, Mitchell Stark, Wes Agar, you are mentioning about his name, Adam Zampa, Josh Hazelwood. So this is the playing 11 for Australia. And let me confirm the West Indies team also. Evan Lewis, Darren Bravo, Shimron Hatmeyer, Justin Mohammed, Nicholas Puran, Kyron Pollard, Justin Holder, Hayden Wash Jr., and Sheldon Cottrell, Jari Joseph, and Akil Hussain. This is the playing 11 for West Indies. So we'll discuss more about this match tomorrow. Lucas will be making the video of this match, and he will be giving all the information of this match. Lucas?
Yeah, I'll be giving a lot of information about that match. I'll be doing my annual reviews like I do the T20 series. But just one more thing. Alex Carey, Aaron Finch is injured.
Yeah.
So it's good to see Alex Carey captain in his first ever game. He's came a long way. Alex Carey plays for South Australia in the domestic season for the Sheffield Shield. And Wes Agar, I'm very happy with his debut. He's also from South Australia. As we know, he's the brother of Ashton Agar. Don Bradman Cricketer of the Year award a couple of years ago. So I'm very excited what he can do. No Mitchell Stark. Hallelujah. Thank God for that.
He is playing. Mitchell Stark is playing.
Oh, Mitchell Stark is playing.
Yeah.
No, we'll lose that. Well, we'll lose that for sure. So don't worry about that. He'll probably go for 60 runs or something. So that's exciting. But I'm really happy with Wes Agar and Alex Carey. I hope they really do well.
Okay, so guys, it's time to wrap the show. Lucas will give you the review of West Indies and Australia match tomorrow. We'll definitely upload in our channel. You will get all the updates of this match, and he will review the short. He will give you all the information in that short review of West Indies and Australia. It's time to wrap the show. Thank you, Lucas, for joining in the show. It was a lovely chatting you. I hope you have enjoyed the show. We'll meet you tomorrow. Till then, bye guys. Good night. Good night. Take care all. And do like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, guys. Till then, good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Take care.